Because we are held apart from the knowing that all things are cyclical, we fail to recognize the fact that death isn't an ending, it's simply a transformation. Because no energy is created or destroyed, it just takes on new forms, new states of being. And because of this misunderstanding surrounding death, we have moved away from, forgotten, shunned, relegated to the shadows, the ideas and traditions that revolve around life containing multiple deaths and rebirths. And this plays into explaining the reason why so many young people, so many people moving through adolescence feel like they shouldn't be here anymore, feel like they don't want to be here anymore, because traditionally, if you go back and look at so many cultures that were deeply rooted in ritual, during this period of life, there is meant to be an experience of death. There is meant to be a clear ending, a pivot point, a point where we as individuals and along with our communities acknowledge the transformation that's going on within us and acknowledge the natural flow of energy, the natural states of change that exist within human being. This also has a lot to do with people reaching that point of midlife crisis, because modern Western society is built so much on deciding early in life exactly what you're going to be doing for the rest of it, until you get to finally retire from whatever thing you picked when you were 16 to 20? Or that's typically the window in which we're expected to do it, right? And because things like that are so regimented and so rigid, we forget that we are meant to be in a state of flow and change, and that when we put these kinds of limits on ourselves and the energy that surrounds us, the energy that moves through us, we run into problems, we run into challenges, we finally eventually reach a point where we can't tamp down the need, the desire, the aching for change, for something else, for new experiences that keeps welling up within us. And when we reach this point, it causes crisis, because we've negated and ignored it to such a point that it is such a consuming force within us. And either we continue to try to hold the reins on it and struggle through that state of being, or we loosen them up and find that it quickly breaks them and starts breaking down, destroying, toppling, and drastically, chaotically changing our lives. But the thing is, we do this to ourselves. We do this to ourselves by not allowing smaller, more natural processes of change to take place, to find space within our lives as they progress naturally. Structure and rigidity is the natural enemy of so many natural processes. Just think of a tree. A tree we think of as being like rooted and solid, massive and slow changing. And oftentimes they're viewed as being filled with a lot of deep wisdom because they live so long. But if you stand at the base of the tree and look up at it, you will see how much it is moving. You will see how much it has been changing when you see all the knots and nodes where branches have been broken and let go over time. You see the hollow at the top of the tree where a squirrel has made its home. At the base, at the roots, It seems to be always the same, but in truth, if we really truly look at the thing, it is also ever changing, ever flowing, ever moving, allowing the forces of nature, allowing the energies that interplay with it to do their thing. It does not stand rigid. It does not refuse to bend when the wind blows, because if it did, it would break.